do it from my laptop.
No, I type specifically with these 6 fingers.
Yeah.
I do a lot of things with these 6 fingers.
Pianist who played like that.
Really?
Yeah. He was, and actually, he was not a bad pianist. He was not bad at all.
That's crazy. All right, now we are fucking live, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, Roger. That today is the what the hell is today? The 18th. The 18th. I don't even know. I'm so fucked up. I don't even know. So, our guest today, we'll go left to right. We have Gretchen, who's over here. You can see her smiling face. You can't even see my hand. That's where the fuck did my hand go? Like,
it's delayed.
I know, but that's like really that's really a delay. Anyway, so Gretchen, right here to my left. Beyond Gretchen, we have Lilabelle Quaintrell, the lovely, the beautiful. And speaking of lovely and beautiful, ladies and gentlemen, we got the lush with the lashes, Queen Daddy, the man, the myth, the legend, Alistair Graves. You're fucking gorgeous. I could. We don't know much about him, but he's fabulous. Fabulous. So welcome to, this is the first time on this show. You guys were on the old show. We've done some live stuff together. I miss you guys. Happy to have you.
Fun fact, the last time that I was on the show with you, so we were like actually on an anniversary for it being.
Holy shit.
Now it's my second coming.
Happy Easter. We'll all get ready to swallow. Easter. Do you guys celebrate Easter at all?
Baptists.
Okay.
My religion. I just don't like the part about women objects and stoning people to death and no gays.
You're getting stoned to death, though. I'm kind of down with that one.
I mostly listen to the love everybody part.
That part. I'm a testament. What I will say is that my grandfather is a Baptist minister, and so we always go to my grandparents' house. And they do this huge, like, I don't know if you can call that lunch. It's like a dinner. So
like the big family dinner kind of thing. Okay. Yes. See, we do that too. I don't go to church at all.
You didn't do your blessing of the pierogies this year?
Not this year. The last time we went, I think I think it was that Easter. We had gone to church, for those who weren't listening to the show back then. Shame, seriously. Shame. We had gone to a Polish church, and it's a Polish tradition to bless the Easter basket of the food, the eggs, the kibasi. And me and my sister, she's translating the priest's Polish as, don't take my pierogi. Don't touch anybody else's pierogi. If anybody touches your pierogi, you punch him in the nose. And she's like whispering this in my ear while the priest is talking. And I just busted out. It's the church is quiet, and I busted out laughing.
I think my favorite part of the story was that she ended with it.
That is correct. Anytime me and my sister go into a church, some weird shit's gonna happen. We had gone when we were in church for my grandmother's funeral. My grandma, and this grandmother, deeply religious, probably the sweetest woman you could ever meet. She was one of those people that she was Catholic, but she like truly lived all the goodness of it.
Right.
And my sister's rehashing Dane Cook's bit about Christ checks.
Oh no.
And the minute she's like, "Your move, holy man," she's like whispering this in my ear. I started fucking laughing audibly during a very quiet and solemn part of the ceremony. Everybody thought I was sobbing, crying. I was trying not to piss my pants. It was fucking perfect. So let's catch up. What you guys been up to?
Shows.
That's good.
It's good. It's good to feel wanted.
True. I think you've been on the show since 2019, but not in person.
Yeah. Yes.
We did the COVID separate.
Yes. Yeah. I did opt in during the quarantine where it was weird because when I didn't have shows like yours, I was just doing this whole face of makeup and then performing in front of a bunch of stuffed animals, and it felt very bizarre. They don't clap back,
See, now here's the thing. When I went during COVID, I was doing stand up in my living room. I set up like a stage. I had a fake brick wall behind me. It was there were two people in the room that wanted to be somewhere else other than a comedy show. So it felt like being at an open mic anywhere in Tampa. You know, that's possible.
Pulled two people off of this.
Does anyone see his neighbor Greg? Oh yeah, he's inside right now.
He's still inside. I keep him in the closet and just slide pancakes under the door.
Show I did it last week. You
Did you do any virtual comedy gigs during the before times?
I did a few. I did a few stand-up related, and it was just weird.
How
just so fucking weird.
Crossover is probably really insane because when you're hosting, you know that we did a couple of virtual burlesque shows.
Yeah, I watched a couple of them.
Thank you.
I do support.
And we appreciate it. But we did a couple of those shows. And for the burlesquers, it's probably not that strange, right? They're performing, they record it, and in fact, you don't have to worry about like slipping or messing up, or you can't get this off in time. You can just re-record. For me, it was so weird because I don't know if the jokes I'm making are landing. I have no
exactly. It's you know, it's worse than doing an empty comedy room. It's because at least that you have some lights and there's, you know, at least some sort of atmosphere.
Yeah.
But doing it from your living room, or, you know, I was doing stuff from my sound booth, it was just it's weird. It's fucking weird.
I think that people don't take COVID seriously anymore. I still get my booster because I'm trying not to die of the plague, but I will say I'm glad that we were able to back to like I think it changed a lot about what we do and how we do it, but not all of that was for the worse either, I think.
No, in fact, the few shows I've been to since the plague times have ended have been fucking great.
Yeah, well, and, you know, it reignited a hunger in audiences, and it also kind of reignited performers, I think, too. I think we were all starving for that connection again, so that was
absolutely.
really nice. But also, like, hell, I go to restaurants and they're not using the, you know, 8-day-old bleach water to wipe tables down now anymore, and I'm like, maybe we should just keep hand sanitizer on all the tables.
Well, quite frankly, I never want anyone closer than 6 feet.
That's
Like,
true.
yeah.
That's true.
You're right. You're right where you are, though. Yeah. I got a foot.
It's mouth to mouth. The measurement is mouth to mouth. Okay.
Unless we're doing it human centipede rules, and then everything goes out the window. You know what's funny? But funny human centipede story. Yes, and this is gonna show how fucked up I am. So many moons ago, when I was still coaching football, I was coaching this team. It was a 7-on-7 team. They were not the strongest of athletes. These kids, they couldn't complete a pass. So my options were run play to the right, run play to the left. If you follow football, you'll know what I'm talking about. It was a zone play, so everybody was moving the same direction.
Right.
So I just called it the human centipede. And these kids were like, I don't know, 12, 13. They had no idea what I was talking about. The coaches knew, but the kids had no idea.
And this is like a play you would shout.
Oh, I would shout out human. I would send it in human centipede to the left, human centipede to the right. And when it finally clicked with my son, when he finally realized what that meant, he was like, "You're horrible." I'm like, "Well, yeah. I mean, you've known me your whole life. I mean, come on, yeah. You've never." Yeah.
Inflicting some latent trauma on those two.
But it was like the realization, like, that's why you named it that. I'm like, yeah, because everybody was moving together like a big centipede.
Just imagine 5 years from the day, they're like, "Oh my god, my coach was a pervert."
Well, they had to. I mean, they all knew what I did. Our defensive calls were like, it was like Pantera, Wu-Tang, Public Enemy. So it was, for those playing the home game, I was making hand gestures. The shocker, the rocker, the spocker.
The showstopper.
Do you know what the minivan is?
Yeah.
2 in the front, 5 in the back. Nothing but high class shit here, folks. I love the delay. That's fucking great. You saw the fucking giant hand. So we're still working. I got to get a new camera so we can get a nice wide angle of everybody. So until then, I'm gonna stay. I'm gonna sit out. We should turn this a little bit. Oh shit! What the fuck did I just do? Oh no! Whoa! How we doing? I can do it from here.
When you do get this wide angle, you have to have me back on the show so I can really like show off this face because I don't think it's doing it justice.
We'll have you back on.
Yeah.
We'll have tight in shots. We'll have out shots. We'll make you strut back and forth and get the wall.
The wide angle to fit in his eyelashes.
That's true. That is true. No, you know what? The ego's not that bad. I gotta be honest with you. The ego's not bad.
It's true. So I should say, I host and produce Burlesque and Cabaret, along with Lilabelle, Quaintrell, who performs Burlesque and also produces Cabaret and Burlesque. And I find that I think there's a certain amount of like self-confidence that is needed. But at the same time, I find that when people overplay that, it just comes off diva and it's not funny, fun, or cute anymore.
The phrase I use is humble diva.
Sure. I now see that I think I am, because if I get complimented, I freak out and I blush, which is why I wear 6 inches of concealer. Because if I show emotion, then it's weakness. That's
that Baptist upbringing.
Yes. No, but the truth of the matter is that the way that I present on stage is not very much different than the way that I am in real life. I just think that
correct.
I just think it's a chance to really be me and not worry about what other people think.
Well, being an entertainer is kind of an odd thing because all of your social media, all of your marketing, you are the product that you're selling. You have to sell yourself. So you're building a brand, you're building, you're crafting this illusion, especially for burlesque, you're crafting an illusion and a fantasy. And that's what you're putting out. And all of your platforms are meant to market and sell that illusion and that fantasy.
Yep.
So it's hard, to balance being a real person and marketing all of that. People the successful people in the industry kind of look like they're self-absorbed and think that they're the shit, but they have to because they're marketing themselves. That's their advertising.
Here's the thing, and this is what I'll say about both of you. You're both, you're very good looking, you're very talented. Well, I mean, he's good looking. I mean, you're all right, No, you're both good, but you're genuinely nice people. Like, forget about the diva part. That comes with show business. That's part of it. But you both are genuinely nice, kind, caring people.
Well, that's that not only do I try, but I think it's why I gravitated to what I do. I think that, and what was interesting, and to kind of, I don't want to say prepare, but to get an idea of what we're going to be doing tonight, I kind of went back and I watched little clips of what we had done in 2019, and it is astounding how much this climate has changed. Since then, it's insane how much entertainment has changed, politics has changed,
everything. The world has changed.
Like that same measure of time in any chunk before that, it wasn't this
drastic.
Yeah, it's an insane change. And I think that's part of what brings me to do what I do, is that I really think that being a kind person, if everybody just was a little kinder, a lot of this stuff would not be here. A lot of the political fights we're having right now wouldn't exist. A lot of the questions of our rights and liberties being ripped away, especially in this state, it's getting bad. And I think none of that would happen if people were just kinder. I don't need you to understand me. I don't need, sympathy. Be a little empathetic and just be kind. And I think that we wouldn't have. So I pull my burlesque as an opportunity because I don't strip. The last time I stripped, the National Guard got involved. I try not to do that anymore. They said something about the International Space Station being blinded with a flash, so I just stopped.
The same thing. They also said something about my own zip code and something about a screen at the drive-in theater being on the loose. I don't remember, something like that.
I was up to shirt off because it was getting really hot. So I yelled that the beacons of Gondor had been lit. So, I strip, but what I do is I talk. There is power in speaking. There's power in having a voice. There's power in gathering like-minded or even not like-minded individuals, but who are coming together to enjoy one art form.
Well, the biggest thing with people who aren't like-minded is being able to get people to think and not necessarily agree with your viewpoint, but at least be understanding too.
You don't need everybody to understand what it's like to be 8-year-old man who was raised Baptist and is now a bisexual crossdresser. I don't need you to get it. I just need you to look at me and go, "Hello, how's your day going?" That's it. That's all I need.
Just human.
Yeah, exactly right.
Now you just do it with a certain extra fabulousness.
Oh,
That's the difference. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Calling me.
And fuck those people.
Alistair is a.
Oh wait, you're being blocked by the big cup. Gretchen, your big cup looks like
It's like a big.
The viewers want to see.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, her face is gorgeous, but I mean, boobs.
So
yeah,
Alistair
exactly.
is a frequent flyer of the Wawa. I don't know if you know.
Same Z's.
And the Wawa by his home, especially, he has made a personal connection with every single employee there. And it's great because they all know what he does. They all know that he comes in at 2:00 in the morning to get a Sammy and some Gatorade, and with his big lashes and his makeup and high heels and everything. And it's always kind of a fun experience when I tag along with him, because now he's showing up at 2 a.m. in his gala, and I'm like usually mostly naked post show, covered in glitter, like hair done.
I have shocked many people in my life when I go, "Yeah, this is my partner," and they go, and I'm like, "Oh yeah,
Keep them confused.
Oh, yeah.
Keep them confused.
Yes.
That's keeping them guessing. Keeping them confused is when they go home and have weird feelings about the guy that was hosting the show that night. They don't have him.
Let them have those weird feelings.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's how we met. Doing a show, and she walked in and had weird feelings about it.
Not strange feelings. I was familiar with
So
those.
weird and strange are two different things.
Right.
Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Weird familiar feelings.
Yes. That's funny.
Well, I think that just harkens back to you having a crush on David Bowie and the Labyrinth.
Absolutely.
I think every girl that has seen that movie has had a crush, and a lot of guys had a crush on David Bowie in that movie.
And Sarah Connolly.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the whole plot.
Yeah.
And there's some puppets. It's about his junk and her eyebrows. That's the whole film.
I never noticed the eyebrows thing. The cod piece. The cod piece was obvious, but
Oh, I don't know. It was a very floppy cod piece because it moves. It wiggles.
okay. I'm about to watch it again now just to see. Yeah.
This very oddly tight in the legs, but loose around the manhood, sort of like almost like sweatpant material. Like it's like the gray sweatpants of 2023. That it was that in the 80s. It was like weird riding pants, and they were very
Yeah.
I just saw, speaking of Labyrinth, I saw recently the I forget which character it was, one of the puppets they finally found. Hoggle.
Yep.
And it looked like
Nightmare.
a fucking nightmare. Oh my god.
It's horrifying.
They restored him
Yes.
now. And
Yeah.
he's now on tour. They have a whole Labyrinth
Really?
exhibit that tours around the country with a bunch of the costumes, and Hoggle is.
I got to get out of the house more often. Holy shit. Yeah.
I don't think it's come to Florida.
It turns out most, especially avoid this a lot.
I don't know. Taylor Swift just did 3 fucking sold out nights.
Swift is not queer leaning.
I know.
The queers love Taylor Swift.
She's
but no.
Right.
I love Lady Gaga's ass.
Gaga's everything.
Yeah.
To me, her voice, her looks.
You know what's fun? I wasn't a big fan of hers up until she was on American Horror Story.
Yes.
That totally sold me on her.
I had fallen in love with some research on her, like something. My therapist says it's ADHD. I do what's apparently called hyperfocusing.
Yeah, I know exactly. I know exactly what you mean.
It's
commonly referred to as.
So I did some research. She's like a concerto pianist and only did like the grungy, artsy, poppy stuff to I don't want to say to get ahead. It was part of her expression, but she leaned that way because she knew she wouldn't get where she wanted to just being a pianist.
So her first album was absolutely just, I know what will sell.
Yep.
So let me gain traction with this. And then once she was successful, she had all this artistic.
She's been doing like a beautiful tour with Tony Bennett. and like became very close with him in his battle of Alzheimer's.
We're not gonna make me cry.
No, I know. That's like,
Well, I may, but I watched it. It was I think during the warm ups for that show that they did. I think it was a show in New York City. It was in LA, but that last show that Tony Bennett did,
yes,
where he walked out and he recognized him.
he says, "Oh my God." She's like, "Oh," and you can tell it's like real. She didn't know what to say.
Yep. And
Which-
him that recognition, and then going because he was able to sing. He remembered all the lyrics to his songs, just couldn't remember the people around him.
Right.
Which is so fucking sad.
Music is a different part of the brain. The musical memory stores in a different part of the brain. And it's really interesting because we don't really know how the human brain works.
Right.
But it's really interesting when you start looking at stroke patients, Alzheimer patients, dementia patients, all the music memory is a completely different part of the brain that's engaged. So oftentimes stroke patients who have difficulty with expressive aphasia can't get their words out, just kind of word salading or not able to express at all, can still sing.
Yeah.
And
I mean, I can tell you this, with what's going on in my brain from playing football for so many years. I can't remember. I can't tell you something that happened last week. You put on a random song from the 80s, I will sing every fucking word.
Yes.
yeah, and I don't know if you've ever had this experience, but sometimes if you're trying to think of the words, you can't think of them. But if the song comes on, you just sort of like relax. All of a sudden, all of the words just start coming out. And it's because it's a totally different part of the brain. We follow this lovely little lady on TikTok who is in a memory care unit, and her daughter goes in, and there's a piano in the memory care unit, and her daughter goes in and records her playing piano. And every time, like, the intro is pretty much the same every time. The daughter will say, "Oh, we're gonna play this song," like, "Oh, we're gonna play my favorite is the second movement of Moonlight Sonata," because she just turns and goes, "I don't know it," and then turns to the piano and
just
starts
nails it.
playing this super complex
Exactly how you just
classical
said.
piece.
She goes, "Well, I don't know it," but it starts the arpeggios, and it is
Wow.
mind-boggling. She goes, "I guess it was okay," and then it's just gone again.
I think
And
it
it's-
was Claire de Lune. I think it was Claire de Lune that she was playing, because she was like,
Now she was playing it strictly from memory.
just from memory. Yeah.
See, that's why.
So I think it was Claire de Lune. She was saying, like, "I don't really remember. I don't know if I can find it," was the words that she was using. "I'm not sure if I can find it." And she starts playing it, and about halfway through playing it, she looks up and she goes, "I found it." It's like so sweet.
Yes.
Now what's even more shocking to me? That there's actually stuff on TikTok besides like half naked chicks dancing. 'Cause that's all I see. That's
Listen,
that.
We're not outing anybody's algorithm here.
All right. I'm outing my own. I don't care. That's the only reason. That's actually no. The reason why I got a TikTok at first, I started a TikTok page where it was called the Daily Motherfucker, and it was just me saying "motherfucker" once a day. And I kind of was like, I went like a week, and it was kind of fun. I'm like, this is fucking stupid. What am I doing? And then I like signed up for a rate. Made a regular account. I should get back to that.
Daily Motherfucker.
Should I bring that back? Should I bring it back? Yeah.
The cooking stuff is also
Stuff.
good.
The only rereason why I haven't done that has been so busy with this alleged day job that I have. That I just haven't had time. I mean, it takes to make a cooking video. People don't realize how much time it takes.
Listen,
You
I
know, I mean,
TikTok my coffee making every morning, and
I know. I watch it. I watch it.
Twice as long to make coffee.
Your coffee. The way that scrape cigarettes, and then you still are extending the time until you have coffee. And I thought that's what was going on until I actually stirred early enough one morning and found out she's using the drip coffee maker to make a cup of coffee while she's filming the coffee making.
Wow.
No shit.
Made a
You're
lot
just gonna
more
put my
sense.
secrets out there like that, aren't you?
No, I thought it was genius.
No, well, hang on. You gotta kickstart the caffeine. The first that
Yes.
that cup of coffee out of the drip
Yes,
is strictly medicinal.
that's true.
True.
That's
True.
true.
It's
True.
one is for function,
It's
the other one's for pleasure. So there's
French press is the artisanal cup of coffee that we enjoy after.
Yes.
the
medicinal
the
cup.
type of coffee I wouldn't appreciate because I'm a fucking animal. That's what it comes down to. It's too nice. Yeah. Yeah. If you look at my order, it's like sugar and milk, like a lot of sugar and a lot of milk-based shit. Actually, because you're a fan of the Wawa, do you have a sweet tooth?
Yes.
Do you drink coffee?
Yes.
Wawa in their cold brew section, creme brulee. They put ice cream mix in it.
Oh,
See? Just don't listen to her. You want to get it with whole? You want to get it with whole milk? Did you get it with whole milk, or did you get it with like that oat milk bullshit? That's just, yeah.
All of it.
It's overrated. Trust me.
More of this like dairy-free stuff now.
Ben and
that
Jerry's
is-
has non-dairy
yeah,
ice cream now.
it's
Yeah.
really-
Well, Nicole had told me she was fucking around. She got one of those whipped cream makers, and she was making whipped cream with I think coconut milk. Coconut milk.
Dope.
That just
Yeah,
sounds
she said it
really
worked. Like she said, it worked. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like it would be really good on top of a pina colada.
Yes.
Or on top of a coconut cream pie.
Either one.
Which
Both.
That might be too much.
why not?
What do you
Then
know?
you take the lime and you put the lime in the coconut, and you drink them both together.
Coconut whipped cream.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry.
This is-
Yeah, that's it. I'm spent.
We're going
right, he's
to
gonna-
find some key lime pie.
Refill. So while we're doing that, Gretchen, what's going on? Give us what's the news? What's going on?
Well, zero.
Nothing.
I feel better than last week.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. We were going to go back to doing a live show last week, but she decided to get the plague. The not the Rona plague, but the stomach not so doing great.
Oh,
Kind
your
of plague.
general like run of the mill generic plague.
Yes. The
I think the old fashioned plague is the bubonic plague.
Well, not that old fashioned.
hey, that one's making a comeback.
I've heard.
Armadillos.
It's in mice too.
Fucking armadillo. You know, armadillos are the reason that so many horses in the South get sick too.
Seriously.
Yeah, there's a protozoa that causes an infection called EPM in horses,
Okay.
and it attacks the nervous system in horses. So it can get pretty devastating if you don't catch it. It can cause seizures. It can cause all sorts of
Wow.
neurological deficits. Horses can't walk, and you know horses are big fucking animals.
Yes,
so
they
if
are.
can't walk, like you can't catch them.
Which reminds me, I did have, because I know you are a lover of horses. I did some research on something today, an equestrian, into the equine arts.
Yes.
I did a little research, and this is this I mathed. I did math, not math. So did you know that the average Arabian horse weighs approximately 1,000 pounds? Did you know that?
Sure. Yeah.
This is just what the internet told me.
Okay.
Did you know that an Arabian horse's penis on average is 24 inches?
Oh,
I did not know.
You know where we're going with this. So that means
Like
that
penis per pound. Is that where we're going with this?
the
Okay.
average man weighing about 200 pounds to be hung like a horse needs a penis of 4.8 inches.
Oh. Yeah. All right.
So by the way, while I was doing this research, I found out that I need to lose a shitload of weight. And that's the punchline, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
That's a great joke. That's a great setup.
Thank you. I stole it from somebody. I don't know where the hell I got it from. But I remember hearing it. I'm like, I gotta remember that for Lilabelle. I got her because she would be the only one to appreciate that.
yeah.
Really. So
Unrelated to penis size, my horse is about 1,200 pounds.
Jesus Christ.
And honestly, he's a big boy, but he's some of the ones that I've had the
Oh,
pleasure.
he's light. He's a thoroughbred, so he's
Yes.
a light built horse. He's got little legs. He's built for speed. And
I
he's
gotta
1,200
respect
pounds.
anybody that can control a 1,200-pound animal with
Oh my
their
God,
thighs.
you should
just
see
saying.
it. You should see it.
And
It's-
strong legs.
People are impressed
Stone
with
hips.
her leadership capabilities, and it never phases me because I've watched her take a 1,200-pound horse by the reins standing, pull him down to her, and go, "We're not doing this today." And it just walks away like, "I'm sorry," and I'm like, "What?" It's an amazing sight.
Because that horse knows who's the boss.
It was kind of funny. Someone tried to intimidate me kind of recently, tried to intimidate me by getting real close to my face. And it wasn't until the day after when I was thinking about it, because in the moment I was just like, wow, you're standing really close to me. And then later I was like, I think that person was trying to intimidate
Definitely,
me.
I was watching it. Yes.
It's bad when you don't realize it at the
And then-
time.
This person's crazy if they think they can intimidate me. I go head to head with 1,200-pound animals since I was a teenager.
Now, I hope that person realized or got the feeling that while they were trying to intimidate you and it was not working, I hope that it ruined their fucking day.
I do too.
Yeah.
Because fuck that guy or girl or whoever it was.
Person. Yes.
Person.
Yeah.
You want me to kick somebody's ass? I'll do it.
No, I've got it under control. Thank you, though.
Please, can I kick somebody's ass? Please. It's been a while. I need to kick somebody's ass. You know, do something other than beating my own children. I mean, loving my own children.
Well, I think like once a week is acceptable, right? You got to keep on the straight and narrow.
Well, for a while, for a while, I was doing a joke where I was talking about when my son turns 18, what I'm gonna punch him in the face, because on that day it's when it goes from being a felony to a misdemeanor. And then I found there was another comedian doing the same exact fucking joke. I'm like, that is a great fucking joke, and now I can't do it anymore. Son of a bitch.
Still gonna hit Roger?
Oh, hell yeah.
Okay.
Oh hell yeah. Now what's really sucks is his birthday is the day before his high school graduation.
So you gotta.
So, see, but that's the thing. Do I wait? Do I give it to him on his birthday? Do I give it a belated birthday gift? Do I do it in front of his grandparents?
You do it at graduation, so you can make a whole spectacle of it.
Like in front of everybody at the fairgrounds? No, like when he comes down, like go like I'm gonna give him a hug and just give him a right hook.
Pictures afterwards, so you get like a whole family, right? You get all the family in the photo. Count it down 1, 2, and on 3, sock him. You'll have a family album.
That is one memento that would
Yes,
live forever.
He can give that.
Memento.
He can show his family years from now. This is my dad.
Well, and with technology nowadays, you can just get on like a little website, upload your photos, have a whole little photo book to show.
Shutterfly,
Yeah,
they
yeah.
can just like send a whole album to you.
And if I get somebody with like a camera with a rapid shutter,
Yeah,
they can like
like
get
the
the whole
60
action.
frames.
Like
Yes,
we
yes.
maybe.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
you've got some social media people there. You can throw Boomerang too. But I think for posterity's sake, he would appreciate the flip album more.
I
You
agree.
think so?
That's something
Okay.
he can dust out for his grandkids, right?
like animation of
Yeah. Does he have a lady in his life or
he
or a
does not.
boy? Or,
He does not. We're not sure which direction he's going,
Mm.
but we bust his balls either way.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is when he starts courting someone,
Oh, I have
we can
plenty
show
of
them
pictures
the
for that.
photos.
Plenty of pictures.
I
Plenty of stories.
I'm very grateful that life rolled the dice where I am Roger's friend and not son.
You got lucky. He's also 2 to 3 times your size.
You know what though? He would look impressive in these high heels.
He probably would.
Yeah.
He probably
I
would.
know.
Yeah.
People think like big dudes shouldn't wear high heels, or big people should wear high heels. If you're tall, I'm like, put them
I
on.
love.
Listen, the tallest trees bear the sweetest fruit.
She wears high heels.
Good for you.
I was just talking to someone the other day about like I love tall bitches in high heels.
Same.
It fucking goddess
like- it's like-
energy.
well,
if
it's a
you're
dub-
towering above me, it's just goddess energy the whole way.
It's a double power move. It's like I'm naturally this tall, but then I decided I was going to be taller than you, even more. Like I
Even
chose
more.
this, right?
And now I'm 6'5". So
How tall are you in
Excellent.
flats? I'm so jealous.
Told you, shoot tall blonde.
Yes, you
Amazing.
I don't make this up.
I am tall and blonde.
Alistair doesn't believe me, but I am actually taller than average.
short.
What color are you?
I'm taller than average.
You're shorter than
I'm
me.
like-
short,
like-
so you're short.
Like
You're all
5'10".
you're all shorter than me.
She's 5'10". The first 3 years of us dating, every time we would get into this play fight, she would add an inch and didn't tell me. And I have crap memory. And so after about the 3rd year, she was like, I'm like 5'11". And I was like, I'm very tall. But I was like, there's no way you're that tall.
No, I'm about 5'11".
Oh my God, Sandy's gone. So now she'd be like, I'm like 78. And I'm like, shut up.
See, if you're smart, you're just gonna say yes, honey. Yes, you are.
Oh well, we have to play fight, or else
Yeah.
Where's
Where's the excitement?
yeah,
We don't really real fight, which is nice.
like the time you turned on Line Ball.
I did not.
That's
I did turn on line ball, and you said it right. You just said thank you. I did. You all heard it here, folks. I turned on line ball. She swears that I did not
It's
turn.
like next to the Starbucks.
Yes, and I took that turn.
Do you know why women make great archaeologists?
Why?
Because they're so good at digging up the past. Thank you. I'd be here the whole week. Don't hit me, please. Or hit me. Arr.
That's a different show.
Yeah, that's the late show.
You'll just tune
Yeah, that's on the OnlyFans where we make Hispanic desserts.
been in Facebook jail recently?
Not recently. I've been behaving myself. Actually, the closest I got was they put me on a like for 28 days they lowered my posts in the feeds. Yeah, which is fine. I mean, they bury my shit anyway. So
what we do. If I
Oh, we're
post,
all shot.
if I make a post, and my post just says, "How's everybody doing?" Somewhere in the neighborhood of 4,000 friends on Facebook at this point, I will get several hundred responses. If I put anything, come see me at the words show,
Nope.
burlesque.
buried.
If I put who am I gonna see tonight? If I
Ticket link.
yeah, oh god. Well, so what we do now is like even if I just post info below, that's a bad one. So I have to be like greetings, no pictures, no nothing, and then dump all of the stuff in the comments. And even then, you'll start getting traction until they catch up that you've put a link in the comments, and then all of a sudden it stops.
It drops. Yep.
And I'm like, is this whole platform?
Oh, I help run some of the promotionals for the local burlesque area. And there's performers that I can't even tag on Instagram. I have to put in like their whole Instagram handle with all the underscores and numbers and all of that for them to even pop up, even though I'm following them on the page. They're following me back, because normally you'll type in like a couple letters and it'll pop up in your suggestions. No, it's like popping up like Beyonce, like, oh, you want to tag Beyonce in this? I'm like, no, fucker, I want to tag this local performer that I follow, and I have to type in the whole thing.
That's
So the shot the ban is insidious, man.
Changed when Facebook got so big that they were, I mean, literally lobbying government. It also changed when Facebook started doing ads.
Well,
When Facebook became a platform that you could pay to promote their ads, they really ratcheted their algorithms to make sure that you couldn't do it without.
And
right,
and
then
here's the
Insta
thing.
was the place, but then Facebook bought Instagram.
Now here's the thing. When this is back in 2018, I think, when I did the shows with Preston Lacey from Jackass.
Yeah.
I had bought Facebook advertising. It did me no fucking good.
No, it doesn't.
It did nothing. It cost me like $100.
It,
Nothing.
It does nothing.
It tickles. Is also very bizarre to me because then you'll see like ads for like Taylor Swift. It's all I saw because I live in the city where she was coming. It's all I saw, and I'm sure that tour partnered with Facebook and dumped hundreds of thousands of dollars in ads.
Do you know how I avoid that? As I go through my Facebook feed, any advertisers that show up that I really don't want to see, I report as offensive.
Yeah, good.
No matter what it is. I mean, it could be like a fucking advertisement from Atlanta. It's offending me.
Yeah, great, good. What is it? Malicious compliance.
That's it.
That's
My
They
Lanta.
don't even make it anymore.
They don't?
I think they do make it still, but it's not.
That's why it came into my head. Because it was like an innocuous product. But yeah, the way they like, unless you're one of their special golden children, you're fucked. They do nothing for you, and they actually actively bury your shit.
Second set of eyelids.
Yeah, I know. I saw that video too.
His work is terrifying. His eyes of either an alien or a serial killer. He has like a 2,000-yard stare, and it's freaky.
Why did we ever abandon MySpace?
I don't know.
Joke last time we were talking on your show.
We
left Tom behind.
Tom never turned his back on us except for the original picture where he was looking over his shoulder. He was our first friend. He never banned us. He never put us in jail. We were able to edit
music on our page.
We could re-edit the way our page looked by recopying, by changing the code.
We were all like expert coders.
And the only thing we had to worry about was not having a specific. If we left a friend out of our top 8,
Oh, God.
remember that? If they weren't seriously, oh my God, yeah.
Actually, frankly, that's enough for me to leave MySpace behind. I don't want to have to make those kinds of decisions.
Well,
I'm not gonna take it personally.
No, my topic blank.
See, I just don't have 8 friends, so all my friends are top 8. Everybody was top 8.
Problems require modern solutions.
Exactly. Keep talking. I got to do work something.
Yeah, no, Facebook is hard enough with all of the people tracking. Oh, you didn't like this, or you didn't interact with that, or you didn't repost this. It's like, Do you understand how the algorithm works?
Well, the thing is, I
I don't
don't,
see any of that shit.
but I don't. Well, that's it, right? I don't know how it works. I know how it doesn't work. I know that I will not see a local performer friend of mine post anything about anything until 2
Until
weeks
2
after
days
it's done,
after the show.
and we'll see it. You know,
Yeah.
I don't think it's supposed to work, but
I-
it works that way.
I feel like Facebook in particular likes to choose one random friend from my list,
Oh
and
my
my
God.
whole feed is nothing but that friend, what they're posting, what they're interacting
And they're
with.
the worst one too.
Yes.
And it's like, I don't even know who this person is. It's like someone who lives in Montana who has like just a bunch of like hot girls that he follows and posts pictures of his family and cars.
We call those collectors.
And like,
Yep.
that's the one that Facebook decides I need to see all of their activity for the week.
You know what else I noticed? Anytime you have like, do you get bot accounts like friend requests?
On,
you?
it's
It's
on
like
Instagram a lot.
tons. And if you go and look, see, like on Facebook more so than Instagram or any other platforms. But if I get like this, the pictures of a really hot girl, shoots me a friend request, I go and look. It's always the same people are friends with it. It's all like comedians from the general area that couldn't get laid in a women's prison with a fistful of pardons. Was that too much?
It's criminal. But those people probably don't realize it's a bot, or they're just there for the pictures. But I'm saying you don't need to be friends with the bot for the pictures. Google. Just Google.
Just Google. There's so much online
Oh
for
my God.
free.
There's so much porn you can
You can
access
just
online for
fucking
free. Well,
kind of, but people still pay for it. They still want to have that like
What's it gonna
somewhat personalized
Yes.
experience. No, I have it on Instagram a lot. I get bot accounts and like the it's so funny to me because Instagram will shadow ban me and restrict my profile for posting like an inspirational quote. Like I had very recently, I got restricted for 28 days because I reposted a story of a picture of a woman who is a more voluptuous size, and there's a caption over her implied naked body saying like all bodies are beach bodies.
Great. What a wonderful message.
And that got me restricted for 28 days. But on my Instagram stories, on my interactions, I'm getting interacted with bots who have their screen name is like buy my nudes.
Yep.
And like come see me squirt. Like
it's just like honestly, all the pictures, like the auto capturing like software should be flagging all these photos, and they don't.
Yep.
The other one that's been weird lately is a lot of Instagram. We've been seeing a lot, especially in the burlesque community. We're seeing a lot of like name. So like if I'm, Alistair
name
Graves,
underscore.
right? Mine is Alistair Graves MC is my Instagram. We'll see Alistair Graves _ MC just enough, and it's all of our pictures. And
Yep.
it's somebody else running it, and we have to like we call and all of our burlesque friends start reporting
so
it.
someone spoofed my account, right?
Yeah.
He sees it and
I
he's
think
like,
I think I caught one that was spoofed. I think
it was the same account.
Yes.
But so he saw it too, and he was like, I'm gonna message it and see what happens. They fucking sent him a dirty photo. That was not me. Just sent him like a random dirty photo
No.
posing as me. And I'm like,
Now was it clearly not you?
Yeah, it was nowhere
I
near
mean,
as good.
it was
Yeah.
just someone's
I mean,
like butt. Like you weren't there wasn't any identifying features to be able to tell that it wasn't me.
See, what I like to do with scammers like that, I'll get them, I'll converse with them, I'll get them to send, and then I'll demand they pay me.
amazing.
And then they usually stop.
Yeah, that's nice.
Mm.
That's nice.
Or I'll send them very, very offensive pictures.
Well, dick pics.
Well, since you open,
Dick
yes.
Van Dyke.
No. Like Mr. Ed. Like I do a joke on stage. I mean, I haven't performed with you guys in a while, but I do a joke on stage where the difference is between me and my wife. She'll be sitting there reading a romance novel or watching one of those Hallmark movies, and I'm Googling pictures of horse dicks to send to my friends and scammers. I'll send like gay fisting, like just
Sounds like
anal
a-
rectal, like the worst shit you could fucking find.
Sounds like a lovely- Come on, babe. I'll put on Hulu. You can watch what you want. I'm gonna be scrolling horse cocks on Facebook.
Hey man, don't shame my hobby unless kink shaming is your kink. That's a weird position to be in.
Okay, it's not
right, that's fair. That's fair.
Floats your boat or tickles your
But that's a, I try to keep the scammers going. I don't know if you feel that, phone calls. Oh, I love that. I go from 0 to absolutely offensive at the drop of a hat. I'll talk dirty. If it's a female scammer, I will sexually harass the fuck out of her. I mean, I sort of feel bad about it, but I mean, at the same time, they're trying to scam people out of their money. So
He's
we're
not
even.
the hero we deserved, but he was the hero we had.
That's it. Or wanted. So the one
Sure, yeah.
it's not the one you wanted. It's the one that just showed up.
I get a sick pleasure out of watching like the YouTube videos. It's amazing.
See, I don't have that kind of patience.
No, these guys are great. They have like full softwares on their computers that make it look like they're actually going to the sites, but they're not. And it accepts like the fake accounts, and they just work them. And it's
Now one thing I learned about those cultures, most of the people that call come from a very specific geographic area. They are very homophobic.
Yeah, see, like,
Oh, I start talking dirty, like real fucking, like real raw. Because I mean, why not? Fuck.
Yeah, fuck them.
if you're ever looking for side work, do the old phone hotlines still exist like they used to?
I mean, you have a sound
I don't
booth
know.
already. I'm sure that you can make some money with taglines.
How can I help you?
And I'll be like, no, see, I gotta turn around and be like, hi, my name's Candy. Oh, you want my measurements? 36, 24, 36, 7 inches, fully functional.
There's a market. There is a
before
market.
the internet. If it exists, there is porn of it. Oh, there is something for everyone. And the minute you think you've seen everything, something is going to surprise you.
Speaking of surprising people on stage, have you done what have you been doing? You've asked everybody else.
I have been working my day job and trying to do this show. That's all I've been doing. It's been sucking all the energy out of me. I started in October, and it was, I would do a couple shows, then took a break while I got dealt with some shit, and then picked up again. Then I dragged Gretchen in against her will to do this, and now she just keeps showing up every week against her will still.
It's the show. Yeah, hey,
That's not cheap. That's not cheap booze. That is solid mid-grade booze. All right.
Here's the show.
Here's the
This
show.
was here's the show. This was
Reuniting old friends.
Cheers. No, I'm good. I gotta drive. I don't like drinking while I drive.
Well, you're not driving right now, so technically
That
you'd
is
be
true.
Drinking before you.
That is true, and
Sure.
and I'm sure I have some time to sober. I mean, look, I got an hour and 10 minutes, an hour and 11 minutes to sober up. So time flies when you're having fun, baby. Come on. Yes. What's that? Yeah, we're good there. Trust me on that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah.
That was the Terminator thing.
The audio is horrid. All right, the audio is horrid. Nice.
Yeah.
That's what Steve said.
Yes.
That's right. Sorry, Steve. We're low budget as fuck. Yeah.
Roger,
So
do you ever go to Universal?
I have not been there in a hot minute. I want to go back.
It's cool.
They keep closing all the good shit.
Well, it's true.
Well, you see here.
Future ride.
Okay, right.
The interesting thing is that they're wondering what's going to happen to the Marvel thing. I'm a huge comic book nerd.
So yeah,
and-
I've been hearing chatter about that.
So Disney now owns Marvel, so they had to pay out the nose to keep all their licensing for all those characters. And I guess now they're talking about opening, like Universal's opening up another Islands of Adventure, but it's like Nintendo based, which is going to be cool.
No, so I heard, and this is
Sure,
just what
well,
I
we
heard.
all speculate.
I heard that they're replacing Toontown with Nintendo, with a Nintendo theme.
See, and I'd heard that too.
Area.
But it's hard because they're also doing a Universal horror movie monsters area. And
See,
it's,
now that's
Yeah.
my shit.
Well,
So-
because they closed the cafe. That used to be where all the classic Universal horror monsters were.
before the cabinet, still do the show, makeup show, but they've been slowly and systematically getting rid of all the Universal monsters. Which I mean, funny. The good story here and a good anecdote is that when I was a kid, I was really freaked out and scared of monsters, and I've grown up to be very gothy. And I'll address how spooky later. But I was terrified of monsters, and my mom, trying to help, right, convinced me like, no, they're your friends. And so I didn't have imaginary friends. I didn't have invisible friends. I had Dracula and Frankenstein and the Wolfman and the Mummy.
You know
like,
what? Those
were my
those
friends.
classic movie monsters, those are actually some pretty damn good friends to
Oh,
have when you really think about it.
So, she's like, parents are very cool and very accepting. I got very lucky in that regard because I knew a lot of representing people don't have that luxury. And I was thinking back on it because my mother was like, well, how did we end up with you like this? And I realized my mother, when I was 4 or 5, she said, what do you want to dress? How do you want to dress today? And I opened up my closet and I said, Dracula, because it's what I had been for Halloween. This was in like March, May, somewhere in the spring. And she went, okay, and sat me down, did a whole makeup face, right? Clown white face, gave me the widow's peak before I lost all this, and drew the fangs on and the blood, and then I wore a little tuxedo, and I must have been like 3 or 4. And
That's
then
hilariously awesome. I love it.
going to Publix. And then she was getting mad at everybody staring. She's like, what? He's a vampire.
That's when you should have learned. She should have taught you to say, "I am Dracula." Blah
Right,
blah blah.
Right, right. Yeah.
Blah blah blah. Blah blah blah.
People say I do blah blah blah. That's not what I
I
said.
did not say that.
So, yeah, here I am doing this. And I'm like, you did this, Mom. You made this. But the Universal monsters have always been some of my favorite things. And they're actually talking about, back to Universal, they're talking about making the whole area. And the indoor area is the rumor mill, is that they want to make it indoor so that it is perpetually nighttime.
Oh,
And they're taking steps to make everything air conditioned because climate change is a really, really good hoax the Chinese are doing. So it's very convincing.
heard that.
And
Yeah.
it's getting really hot. So they're considering.
Especially in Florida.
Yes, so they're considering.
The fat guy of Eastern European origin didn't notice.
So yeah, the Lebanese side doesn't help with that at all.
No, not at all.
No.
It helps with the tanning. It doesn't. The Polish part makes me sweat a lot.
Fair
A
enough.
lot.
Fair
I'm really good at sweating.
Like in Harry Potter
yeah.
area, it's like always night, but that's still kind of an outdoor indoor. They're talking about like a warehouse, like they do their Halloween Horror
rides,
Nights.
yeah.
I am so down for that. So down for that.
Wolfman, Dracula, Mummy, Invisible Man, maybe Creature. They keep teasing about it, but we won't know till they do it.
See,
But
I want
do
to go
think
back
it'd
and
be great.
check. It's been a while since I've been to Universal. I went to Disney back in, was it December? And I got to say, I wasn't happy with a lot of things. It had nothing to do with politics. It has to do with like just nickel and diming every little thing. And
Same with
just the
Bob
experience
Dylan.
was different. There was no magic. It was just like,
I feel like
Eh.
Disney is so pay to play. Like you pay out the nose to get a ticket. And then once you're in the park, the only thing there is to do is to spend more money.
yep.
And I think that when I had a pass for a number of years, around 20 years old, so over a decade ago, and it was different. It really was. And I think part of it is that they're greedy a little bit. It's a corporation. I think part of it is also this mass entrance into Florida, where we are now getting by hundreds of thousands every time they do a new census. We're just shoving people into this state.
Well, and
Yep.
let's not discount that people travel from all over the world to come to Disney. So they can, they can make the prices that high.
Well, here's the thing, because somebody like me, I didn't like the fact that how much it cost, and there was a time where I accepted Disney was expensive, but I didn't leave feeling ripped off.
Exactly.
I felt like I got my
Yes.
money's worth, even though it was a ridiculous amount of money. Now it was like I spent all this money and I was just miserable, like fucking miserable. So I want to give Universal another go, and especially if they're going to do that monster area, because I love classic movie monsters.
I got Red and I for anniversary. Was it anniversary, birthday, Christmas? One of the things I bought us passes to go back to Universal because we used to do it all the time, and then pandemic, and so I was like, you know what, let's go back. I'll buy the passes. We have such a good time, and the passes, I got us the Mac Daddy pass, still cheaper than almost the base price of Disney.
Yeah.
Pass at
And
Disney.
yeah, I will say Disney's animatronics look way more convincing. I will say that there's a little bit more customer service in most places at Disney World. Universal never makes me leave feeling like, oh, what a lame day. Like we just have a
No.
good time.
Fun as
And
heck.
because we're in Florida, if I got the pass, even if we go for 3-4 days or for 3-4 hours in a day, okay, had a good time.
See, when I used to have Disney annual passes, and the way
Yes.
I figured it out was, okay, this is what it's going to cost. So if we go, yeah, I think the magic number was 6. So if we went more than 6 times,
It's worth it, right?
it was worth it.
Yeah.
So, but now it's like, they just reintroduced them. I don't know what the prices are.
They
did it
are
all
over
the-
$150 more expensive than they were before last time.
Crazy.
It
But
is
again,
crazy.
I went, and we had regular passes, but I didn't feel like I got my money's worth. They started charging for the whatever the hell they call the fucking. It used to be Fast Pass, like
The Fast Pass turned into their Genie Plus.
Genie
now.
Plus. You know what? If they did it if they did the same way they did Fast Pass, but they charged for it,
Right.
I'd be fine.
Yes.
But the fact that, okay, so now you got to pay for the Genie Plus, and then for every ride you got to go on, you got to pay if you
Right.
want to, if you want to use that fucking lightning lane or whatever the fuck it's called. So you're now back to the ticketed ride
Yeah.
ride fee.
Pass that we bought at Universal, still cheaper than your entry at Disney. Valet parking, which doesn't sound like a big deal
It's
until it has been
really
12
nice.
hours at Universal and you're dragging ass and your feet are jello, and you go, yeah, here's my ticket, and they bring you your car. It's
See
awesome.
that right there, worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no blackout dates. The Mac Daddy days, if you're into Halloween Horror Nights, they each come with one pass, so you just guaranteed you have access to one night of Halloween Horror Nights. You just
By
get
the
a
way,
pass.
ladies and gentlemen, this is not a sponsored thing, but Universal, if you want to, I'm down. I'm a fan.
Universal, if you androgynous gothic transvestite cabaret and burlesque performer to come and host literally anything that you do throughout the year, I am your lady
Trust me, you need it.
man.
Higher.
Rod, it's the first time I've seen your face.
Oh no,
balls
it's
turning.
the second or third. Kind of lean over a little bit. Then I hide the half of Gretchen's face. No.
Gretchen, are you in,
you got a better looking face than I do. I look old man.
Last time I was here, I said I wasn't the prettiest man in the room. I still think you give me a run.
No, not even close. You got the eyelashes.
That's natural. My lashes are natural.
100%.
That's true, yeah. Gretchen, are you a theme park person?
I'm not.
No,
Yeah.
no thrills.
I think I used to be. I'm not now. It's honestly like being so close to people. I'm
Fair.
all set. I'm all set.
Okay.
I have to agree with
Hear
that.
you.
Well,
The
so the other
peopliness.
thing is that Disney's becoming such a destination spot that they're like, if you have a pass, so if you have an annual pass, you still have to make a reservation for the
Yep.
day you're going to go. And if something changes, there's no convenience there anymore.
Well-
we like to wake up and go, plans today. You want to go have a drink at Universal and then we'll come back? Sure. Whatever. It's so much more easy. Honestly, what everybody's sleeping on is Busch Gardens. If you live in Tampa,
If you live in Tampa, Busch Gardens is where it's at.
and are they still doing? I don't know. Before
They do the fun pass.
Yeah.
4 times they used to do a pay for a day, play all year kind of deal.
I still do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're buying a day ticket and then you get to come back until December 31st.
Now, what I will say is their parking has gone up to $35 a day.
Woof.
So
Jesus.
if you go more than twice, it's worth it to just get the silver annual pass. But again, if you're in Tampa, you can just go for a couple hours.
See, now I
I'm
think
unfortunate with a friend of ours who works there. I love very dearly.
nice.
Just say Chris. And Chris is easy. I've known him. He's known me since I want to say I was either just before or right at drinking age. Wonderful man. And
So
he
last
worked-
week,
God. A good my makeup's working. Well, from this distance, I just look like two black dots. I like it.
Yeah, a little bit like Coraline, like
Yeah, like the
giving
button
Coraline.
I have eyeballs.
He does.
I'll come touch you. My eyes.
Just be careful. This is YouTube. They will.
Okay, they can't see my eyebrows either. Just look like naked.
They can't see mine.
He was wonderful.
I'm the Invisible Man.
He's got like he's worked there for years and years. So he's got a pretty decent haircut.
We had Busch Gardens passes. I think we got rid of them last year. I think it was last year we got rid of them just because we had so much going on. We just weren't going. But we had gotten, I guess you would call it the Mac Daddy version of the Busch Gardens passes, which not only gave us access to Busch Gardens and Islands of Adventure, but SeaWorld.
Yes, I do SeaWorld, right?
And I gotta be honest with you, I have more fun at SeaWorld than I do regular Busch Gardens, and probably because I don't want to spoil it for everybody out in view, but I'm a little bit on the larger side, and I don't fit on much anymore. That's right. I am built for comfort, not speed.
Like you, I tell them that you're worth bucking just to cuddle after.
I've been told that before.
That's true.
I've been told that before. I think I was told that by you, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It's true.
There's a
You know,
whole list of people you would fuck just to
Bring out whatever you will from the truth.
That's true. That's true. But we had those Mac Daddy passes, and we got into Busch Gardens, and I had so much fun. Like I had never been to to SeaWorld before. Oh my God, it was so much fun.
SeaWorld is cool. Really cool.
Yeah.
I like roller coasters.
Samesies.
It's just too. She also wants to, like, if you told her, hey, we'll give you a 6-hour crash course and you can Halo jump, she'd do it. Like,
now, are you into roller coasters?
I love roller coasters. I'm not into a lot of the things that she likes, but I like roller coasters. I don't want to die.
Where's your sense of adventure, son?
Well,
Come on.
She's like, let's go skydiving. Have you been? So you guys, are you familiar with Orlando Eye?
Yes.
Are you familiar that it caught fire?
Yes.
Okay. Are you familiar with the big drop tower that's out there?
Oh,
Do you know
yes.
that somebody died?
Yes. A 14-year-old kid.
I should say all these things because if you don't know, the Orlando Eye is a gigantic Ferris wheel, and by gigantic, I mean literally stories tall.
Yeah, it's modeled after the London Eye.
Yes, and
About
there
the
was a
same
drop tower. The Orlando Eye Ferris wheel caught fire. I don't think anybody died, but there were some people who got some pretty bad burns. And then also in the drop tower, someone recently died. They still haven't opened it.
Nope, they're
And
taking it
They
down.
closed down all drop towers, I think nationwide, at
Yeah,
least in the state of Florida.
They closed the one at Busch Gardens. They closed that one.
Tower?
Yeah,
No.
they closed all the drop towers.
Now did they reopen the eye or whatever the hell they call it now?
Yes. Well, so,
Now, if you want to see something hilarious, we'll go out there and I'll go on it. You'll see something very interesting happen as we go around.
yeah.
You will see this big, burly, tough guy turn into a little bitch because he's afraid of heights.
She, every time we pass, is always like, oh, there's the third one. There's the slingshot, right?
Yeah.
And
Well,
that's
there's the slingshot and there's the swings.
okay. And the swings are also stories high.
The swings
Swings
go
should
up
be a
the whole
no.
tower and then swing around.
She's
at
like
the
so
top.
excited and she's talking about it.
She understands the stakes. So after I was on fire and someone died on the drop tower, we go by there because we do Spooky Empire twice a year. It's a horror convention. You would love it. If you like the Universal Monsters, you'd love it.
When is said?
Well, it's in May. The summer show's in May.
So the summer shows, it's always,
Sure.
it's a resort where they have a pool party. Last year, Kane Hodder, Jason Voorhees, was there, and our pool party was 6 Jasons, like dudes dressed like Jason in the pool with Kane Hodder, who just came out to party, and they were all just getting drunk by the pool.
That's
So
crazy.
May was a massive monster pool party. We had like skeleton mermaids swimming. It was amazing. And then in October, they bring in the big guns. We met Elvira. We have my crowning achievement is that I got to sit next to the 2 most beautiful redheads on the planet because I was in between her and Elvira, who is naturally a redhead. 'cause Angie
Yes.
Peterson's
Oh,
redhead.
I know.
And I sat between
Oh,
the two
believe me, I know. I know.
She was like over 70 years old, and I sat next to her. And
She can still get it.
oh,
Oh. You can still get
You
it.
can still get it.
I have to push that I'm top because I dress in high heels and eyelashes and neutral. And everybody always goes, "Oh, but he's," and I'm like, "No, I'm sweet, but I'm a top." She can do whatever she wanted. Elvira can do whatever she wanted to be. That woman is
She's Elvira. I mean,
yeah, 100%. And what's crazy is out of makeup, she's genuinely a beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, Spooky Empire is great. We drive after. So the last time we went up there, kid had died. Orlando was on fire. She goes, "You sure you don't want to do a slingshot with me?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, because that's the next in line. Slingshot."
Now hang on. I gotta kind of defend her position here. I have a feeling I know why she wants to do the slingshot ride so bad. There is a series of videos showing that women have orgasms on that, just the adrenaline rush and the motion. There are videos of women having orgasms on the slingshot ride.
I was not previously aware of that.
You're
but
welcome.
It has heightened my curiosity even further.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Statistic, right? Like local Florida transvestite lady man dies because the slingshot malfunctioned. It's your
That's
fault
an
now.
awesome fucking headline.
No, listen, the part of the boon of dressing and living the way that I do is that no matter how I go out, it's going to be a great headline. Even if I just die in my sleep, right? Local Florida man uncovered dressed like gay Dracula, found sleeping on it, right? Like, well, I am. I'm Liberace and Morticia's love child. That's how I've been described. So.
It's surprisingly accurate.
I know.
I love it.
Especially, and if you don't mind a little plug here, Roger.
No, go for it.
Because recently I have had the privilege of being asked to do a residency. So if you're local here in Ybor City at the Speakeasy Lounge, which is Kava Kratom coffee and tea upstairs, and then downstairs they have a dungeon called the Catacombs. It's all concrete and chains. It's beautiful. Both upstairs and downstairs are gorgeous.
Slow down. I can only get so erect.
I know. Downstairs is where all the alcohol is.
And they have a full kitchen.
And they do have a full kitchen.
Is the food good though?
They have a double cheeseburger. They'll put a
I'm
fried
sold.
egg. No, they'll put a fried egg on top of it, and they do the panko breading on the fries.
Oh.
Like
The fries loaded too.
The fries loaded with bacon, cut cheese, the works. It's not just bacon cheese. They put real cheese. It's so whether you are, if you are one of our sober friends, there are options. If you're into Kava Kratom, there are options. If you are a liquor drinker like myself, here's to your health. And here's to barbed wire and G-strings. They both protect the property without obstructing the view.
Damn, I love it.
And so, but there's something for everybody, and I really do love this place because it does. So for years, I fought. I know I'm like, for years.
Sorry, it is the chairs, folks.
I've never done that in my life. Perfect. So the way that it works.
Rolled as you talked, it like squeaked.
I know, it's what this is leather core. Oh, you can't even see it. I got like a whole leather corset on. Yeah, and it's squeaking up against the leather. So Speakeasy every other Sunday. I host what's called the Graveyard. It was named after Alistair Graves, so it's the Graveyard. And at the Graveyard, our producer, the Rogue River. So River is an incredible performer, a wonderful producer, and she puts together a stunning vaudevillian lineup every other weekend. We have a totally different show. It is never so far have I left going, well, that was okay. It is always a smashing
I'm
show.
so fucking in. This Sunday I can't, but next Sunday,
okay,
that's ass.
Good. So we do
Every other.
Oh yeah, it is every other. So I'll send you all the
Actually,
details.
yeah, it'll be the not this week, not next week. It'll be the week after because next week I'm in Daytona. I'll be in Daytona.
Also does on the opposite Sundays, a very good friend of ours, Apollo Infinity. He's a drag king. He's phenomenal. He does all sorts of devil, demon, sort of like monster stuff. And so we have a monster, devil, demon, spooky, cryptid drag show that goes on the opposite Sundays. And
This sounds like such my shit. I love it.
Speakeasy. They open every morning at 9 a.m., which is a time I didn't know existed until I started hosting the show and they wrote it on a piece of paper.
It does. I'm usually
comes in an AM?
I didn't know
Yeah,
that,
it does. I'm up in like 9 a.m. My day's half over. I'm up at fucking 5. So
God, that's what I'm going to bed. The sun's coming out.
I know.
Retire.
Believe it's not by choice. It's not that I want to. I
Such shambles. I work three
The
separate
economy.
jobs.
That's the real punchline.
Right, economy.
but
Yeah, so to end my spiel, the Spooky Sea is wonderful. It is a horror themed cabaret every other Sunday. This upcoming Sunday is one?
Yep.
Okay, good. So there's your baseline. So you go to your calendar and just do every other Sunday, and that's a show of ours.
hell yeah.
But that's why I'm like especially spooky tonight, because normally I'm pseudo spooky, but the thing is I kept getting typecast as being a spooky guy. And it's just because I have a streak in my hair and I dressed in a tailcoat, and people are like, tailcoats are for vampires and old people. So you
Oh
must
shit!
be-"
I wore a tailcoat to my prom.
Yeah, no, you know what?
Are
So
you a
did I.
vampire?
No, but I'm just classy as fuck. I would.
Oh,
Damn straight. No,
I
am
drank my
too.
beer out of in a paper bag with my pinky up and shit because I'm classy like that.
Yeah, we're sneaking out to smoke cigarettes because I was born in July, so every year I was the baby, right? So I didn't turn 18 until we were done.
Oh shit!
So I was like outside of the back, smelling bread. It's like, shh. No, yeah, Spookies is wonderful. The owners are great. They also do they do a different thing every night. So if you're ever just in Ybor City, and I should mention Spookies is in Ybor City. It's on 15th Avenue. And
Or
it
as my
is-
mom says, yeah, bro.
yeah, Bro City.
Yeah, but she can't pronounce it.
It used to be make the joke that we all made the joke that it was gay bar, but at this point there's only like 2 gay bars down there. We're trying to reclaim it. COVID changed a lot.
See, but the thing is, there's only 2 strictly gay bars.
That's true.
You got to make sure every bar a little bit gay. You got to make every bar just a little bit gay.
A little bit gay.
That's
yeah.
fair.
Okay.
At least a little.
Not bad.
Most times a lot.
Whatever. As long as everybody's having a good time, it's all that matters.
It's awesome because I don't have to worry. I can be sitting in a restaurant and go, "Did you see how beautiful she was?" And she'd be like, "Yeah." And it feels really nice. It feels really nice.
You're lucky. You're lucky is what it is.
Hey, I work hard in this. It's not
Or
just
she's
luck.
lucky. I mean, you both
We're
lucky.
both lucky.
You both lucky.
I think that she could do much better, and I'm glad she hasn't caught on to that.
Yeah, as soon as she
I'm
figures
still
that out.
finding the cleverly crafted facade.
I'm gonna have to go to that though. That sounds like so much fun. You going? We're going.
And
Well, we're in Lake Worth next weekend.
yes, it's the other coast. That's a far trip, but we are in Lake Worth next weekend.
We
I thought Lake Worth was in the middle of the state.
No, it's
other
on the other
coast.
coast. It's
Really?
near Palm
Just-
Beach.
just
Oh.
north of Miami.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking Lake Wales.
No,
Yes.
Lake Wales is a pit, and it could just fall into the ocean, and no one would miss it.
Lilabelle spent a
I-
rough time of her life.
I forget that it exists. So it may, same difference.
Worth over by
Okay.
Palm Beach. It's incredible. We have a really burlesque scene out there, and Ruby Tesla is our producer out there. So we're both in that show.
And then
wait, but Orlando, May.
the weekend after that, we're in Orlando for Dungeons and Dragons burlesque.
D&D burlesque.
Ooh.
So I both have played D&D for a number of years. I also run a game, and she's one of our players, and so we both got invited. That's with Aurora Fable to
Mhm.
go to at
Midnight
the
Fables Cabaret.
yes, Midnight Fables Cabaret at the
Could be fun.
Nice.
I'm excited
Yeah.
to see what everyone is going to bring.
Well, I know the problem is I'm afraid we're all going to show up as Edgelord warlocks because that was my first character I ever played. I was like, oh, so this is a warlock, and I get to make like a pact and do black magic, and yeah, that's what I'm going to be. We're all going to show up like that.
I'm gonna just sneak attack the whole time as your house rogue.
Before,
You won't be able to find me the whole night.
you can also look up the Scarlet Lotus Cabaret. I don't remember exact. Do you remember the date? Probably not for the Fae
For
show.
Midsummer?
Yes.
No.
So there is a Fae
June.
themed. Yes, it is a midsummer themed show. So like the true like Shakespearean Fae and like some more legendary Fae. And that one, yeah, it's sometime in June. It's a brass mug, but you can follow the Scarlet Lotus Cabaret.
Is that the brass mug up off of
Bears and
Skipper.
Skipper.
Yeah, yep.
Yep.
So,
I did comedy there one night. It was
so
weird.
said on the last show I was here, the brass mug is interesting. Dive bar. Everybody smokes inside. There's pool in the back.
The show I did there was I was the only white comedian on the bill,
Okay, yeah.
which I do fine, but I'm like, it's like, I'm the only white guy in the room. I'm looking around and there's an advertisement that David Allen Coe is doing a show there like the next week. I'm like, this is crazy. This place is nice.
Has a diverse scene.
I love that.
One walk in is a death metal band playing. The next light, it's ska. Like and the owners are wonderful to us. And anytime I've ever performed burlesque there, if I have ever, I've produced before there. The old troupe I was with, the Hellcats Burlesque, many years. They've since for many years they have been disbanded, but they were one of the longest running troupes in Tampa for a long time. It's where I got my start. It's the first troupe I was ever with. We did a lot of shows at Brass Mug, and they treated us like royalty.
Everybody that was working there, and this has been a few years now since I did the show there. Everybody there was they were cool. It was just a great
the staff is wonderful. They brought us back like a tray of lemon drop shots and like a bottle of, I want to say bubbly, but I don't remember what it was. And they were just like, here you go. Thanks for being here. And I mean, like, you probably know this. Some of the wealthiest establishments and venues are the ones that they're like, you can change where we keep our kegs. And I'm like, I have to do like a whole face of makeup and put all this on, and like they're like, yeah. And I'm like, oh, okay, great. And no shade. I think that it's important to bring art at this point wherever we can.
Absolutely.
I do draw a line at changing the alleyway. The dumpsters are for after the show because I know where I belong. It's the trash, so that's where I line up afterward for them to. I always say I don't strip. But after the show, if you want to get a little piece of this, you can go to the dumpsters.
But just so everybody is clear, it does cost extra.
That's right.
Because,
if you're not tipping, you're not going to.
Yeah, seriously. That's right. And if you like the tip, give them the whole thing. Or take the whole thing from them.
Correct.
Yeah, top. Gotta make sure I don't fuck that up.
Steer us somewhere, Roger. Where do you go next? What are we talking about next?
Okay, so we covered the speakeasy.
Yeah,
I'm still. I have to.
And it's such a listen. Last bit on the speakeasy. It is amazing because I'll go there for meetings during the daytime. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I get a good big breakfast sandwich on Cuban toast. I sit. They've got lounge chairs.
Wait, they make breakfast sandwiches there too?
The place is astounding.
Ah.
It is an amazing spot.
All right.
Sandwich at 10 o'clock in the morning. Sit there with like bacon, scrambled eggs, Cuban toast. Look out a window, and then and to further pitch this to you, Roger, the vignettes. So every window has a life-size mannequin. We have Nosferatu, Frankenstein, Bride. We've got Elvira, the Mummy. Well, the Mummy gets kind of taken. They've made a joke where they've like stuck a printout of my face on the Mummy because I used to say that when I die, I want to be stuffed and put in that place because I want to judge everybody eternally.
Nice. Speaking of nerdy sides, though, this is my nerdy side. I'm big. You guys know I'm a big space travel, space program nerd.
Yeah.
So SpaceX supposed to be launching their Starship.
Right.
It's supposed to launch the other day. They postponed it till Thursday.
Okay.
What's Thursday's date?
420.
Elongated muskrat's big giant space cock is going up on 420.
Tesla.
No, that was a one-time deal. That was so. You know what? Here's the thing. If you can go for it, what the hell?
First started getting big, I was like, "This guy's pretty cool." Like, all right, and then he started talking. And much like Fran Drescher, he was way prettier before he opened his mouth.
Yeah, but I still want to know what she sounds like.
Yeah.
Like what the moans. So the moan's got to be.
Gotta stop talking.
Just imagine it's like if you shake one of those rubber chickens really hard.
I can only get so erect.
God,
Jesus, that's like the most accurate shit I've ever heard. Disturbing.
Alistair Pierce Brosnan. Oh my God. She was. That's who it was. She was so fine. It was insane.
Oh yeah, and she was in She was in Spinal Tap.
Bless. She's so hot.
Her and the Tilly sisters.
Oh yeah.
Those are another oh my God. Oh.
Is that like Jennifer Tilly?
Jennifer and Meg Tilly.
Well, yeah, Meg Tilly's gorgeous, but Jennifer Tilly. So like, I remember being a child and saying like, because I don't think Jennifer Tilly came in the Chucky franchise until like what, Bride and then Seed.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. I had a lot of weird sexual experiences with like 80s and 90s movies though, because like.
Didn't we all?
Well, no, but like for
80s
real.
and 90s movies were nothing but
They were
like
sex
documenting weird
Yeah.
sexual
This
experiences.
is fun, and listen, everybody's watching this and be like, that Alistair Graves, he has no decorum, and it's true, kind of. When I'm doing a burlesque show, I haven't watched it. I know I'm
They've watched this show. If they've seen me, they know I have no decorum. So you're in good company as far as it goes.
Well, I guess it was technically. Well, 92.
Close enough. That's close enough to the 80s. Yeah.
First being full mast, if you will, was the scene where Michelle Pfeiffer licks Batman's face, and I was like 8. I did not understand what was happening in my body.
But you liked it.
I sure fucking did.
Yeah,
I
buddy.
was sick from school. I was sick as a dog. I had like 101 fever. And I thought I was dying because I was like, what are you doing? And the rest of that place. And the more I like, that's back in the age that we're young boys. We don't know what to do with it. So we just kind of press it up against stuff. And we're like, well, this is cool.
This is working.
So that is true. That is true. Michelle Pfeiffer was my sexual awakening. Was
That-
Michelle Pfeiffer. Just vacuum turn those suits.
Really?
They went through almost 80 suits because they would make them and they would have to literally she had a tiny spot in the side where they would vacuum her in. And then as she would do the stunts, they would rip and it would deflate a little bit and kind of go baggy a bit and they would go through another one.
Jeez.
Yeah, I'm a huge Batman fan. So if you've not seen it, you can find my Joker on my Instagram.
So now which of the Batman films is your
89.
favorite? The original, the Michael Keaton? See, now that's
it's because it's the closest to the comic books. I think that Joker. Listen, we've had like 8 Jokers. Heath Ledger was cool as Christian Bale's concept of a realistic Joker. I think Jared Leto should just not do anything anymore. Just go away. And
just look cute.
Right, he's very pretty. Again, until he talks. So I think that
Time has not been kind to him.
that's true too. I think that Nicholson's Joker and that Batman and that aesthetic, for being a one-off film, is the closest to comic books we've ever got.
see now I'm looking at that movie from a different angle where I'm not a huge comic book fan. Not that I don't like that I think comic books are good. I'm just not into it. But that one is my favorite. I love Michael Keaton.
God, yes.
Hands down. Jack Nicholson's
Perfect.
his insanity, like his real life insanity,
Yes.
was like Heath Ledger played the insanity, but Jack Nicholson's that fucking
He's
crazy.
just a crazy man. No.
But just I mean, I'm a Tim Burton fan anyway. So
I
that,
think the returns to Burton went a little too Burton.
but you know what?
Lots of swirlies, lots of before Christmas aesthetics, and it's a little too Burton. The first Batman, I think it was just enough to bring a very dark set of characters onto the big screen, and they killed it.
But do you know what my favorite aspect of that Batman film is?
The car?
Besides that,
Oh, no.
Prince, Bat Dance.
Okay, you probably actually. Prince is my favorite recording artist of all time.
What's Prince's real name?
Prince. Nelson.
Roger
Oh,
Nelson.
that's true. It's Prince
Prince
Roger
Roger
Nelson.
Nelson.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, his first name is Prince. Prince is not an inspiration to me. I mean, based on. But also, just his attitude, his go-getterness, what he accomplished, and the pathway that he carved for being, everybody went, oh, he's gay. And then he ended up with lots of chicks. And the rumors are lots of guys. And it finally realized, as a, I'll say 17, 18, 19, struggling to figure out what my identity was, I really fell in with Prince. Bowie was another one that was a big inspiration to me. And
See, I like Prince better than Bowie. And here's why. And this comes down. This has nothing to do with the image, the persona, the outlook.
Prince and she's a Bowie. That's her favorite. She's got
I'm
like
not
80
shitting on Bowie though. But Prince could play any fucking instrument he touched with a mastery.
Prince fan, but Prince's first album, second album, and third album, so that's up to and including when he was The Revolution, he actually wrote, and if you're listening to the album, there is more than speculation that none of the people that he toured with that made up The Revolution are actually on the album. It's all him playing, and then he taught the performers, here's what I want you to play on the bass for this song. Can you do that? Great, you have the part. He wrote it all.
That does not.
So, Graceland. Big Elvis guy, but I've never been to Paisley Park. I want to go. So interesting tie-in here with me. The first time I ever had the balls to be a transvestite and cross-dress the way that I like to in public, without being like a Rocky Horror or something like that. The first time I ever did it was the day that Prince died. I took bereavement. I literally took PTO and I went home because it fucked me up so bad.
Wow.
It was totally unexpected, and I always wanted to see him, and it just, like, the more I thought about it sitting at work, it messed me up so bad. And it's weird because I once heard somebody say it, that celebrities, we don't mourn them because of how well we knew them. We mourn celebrities because of how well they helped us know ourselves.
But here's what's great about someone like Prince is his work will always live on. Bowie work will always live on.
Well, so the day after Prince died, I thought life kind of took him too soon. He was still relatively young compared to, and so I put on my high heels, I painted my nails that night, and the next day I put on a face full of makeup and I walked into my corporate day job. And I have not stopped since.
Good.
And I was really worried, and I've been bullied in every circle I go into because it just happens.
Not every circle. This circle doesn't bully you. I know what you mean. What are you saying?
It does get better. You stop caring at a certain point what other people think.
That's the biggest, no matter what you're doing, the minute you stop giving a fuck what other people think, your life will improve.
Which I think is a weird balance because
in show business, we want to be accepted.
Yeah, we have to care about what people think, and yet also not care about what people think.
But that's the thing. It's those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind.
Correct.
So I have a small stack of books that are kind of like self-help books that I recommend to anyone who will sit still long enough for me to recommend them to. And one of them is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Yes.
I have to read that.
It's really good.
I mean, I'm pretty good at not giving a fuck.
Just the overall power of indifference and how much more confident and decisive you can be in your life if you just kind of let go of that worry.
All right. Now with Prince, what's your favorite Prince song?
Okay, I give you a top three, but I can't narrow it down past that.
How about give me your top three in no particular order?
Electric Chair. That is from the '89 Batman.
Yes.
And it makes me horny. It is a good song. I've never heard a song that makes me go, ooh. It's just
I've never heard a Prince song that wasn't about sex.
That's true.
I mean,
incredible, right? I'm crying, but I have a boner. I think
fair.
that Electric Chair. Say Let's Go Crazy has to be on the list. It has to be on my top three. If I'm in a bad mood, I put that song on and it's better. And then I'm actually going to say Darling Nikki, and there's an interesting reason why. I don't know that Darling Nikki is necessarily my favorite one to listen to, but I think that it is actually the reason that there are censorship laws about what you can play on the radio. Prince's song Darling Nikki is the reason in the US we have censorship laws on the radio.
Yep.
That's how AC/DC could say things like, in the latest Once You Came, You've Been Thunderstruck. Nobody gives a shit. When he wrote a song that started with I met her in a hotel lobby masturbating in a magazine, the censors went nuts and they had court hearings about it.
The Who had the song Who Are You? There's a line of Who the fuck are you? And they played it on the radio.
Nobody cares.
Nobody gave a shit.
Stones. Yeah. You make a dead man come.
Yeah.
They didn't care. Prince wrote a song that was so fucking graphic that they had to create censorship laws for the radio.
Well, it wasn't all about how graphic it was, though. It was because Nikki was embracing her sexuality.
That's true too.
And it wasn't a slut shaming song. It wasn't a song about masculinity and how manly he was for making other women come. It was about
She rocked his world, pieced out, left him a note, and said, "Call me later if you want some grind." Yeah. Also, the ending bit of that. Oh, and then at the end of that song, he cleverly hides. If you play it back, he plays it. If you're listening to the track, you're hearing a backwards player. If you play it backwards, it's a hymn, kind of. It's a gospel group, and they're singing. The words are, "Hello, how are you? I'm fine, because I am with the Lord, and I know it will all be well."
Huh.
That's what that.
I'll have to check that out later.
That's what that.
Okay.
That's what that song is.
Now,
Because he.
now I will add to that the song 7. I love that song 7. But I was listening to Let's Go Crazy, and I had it clicked, and I was like, holy shit. Lyric of the song. What are they searching for?
The purple banana until they put you in the truck.
What's the emoji that we use for a penis nowadays?
For sure.
Eggplant, purple banana.
It's purple for
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. I'm like, holy shit, eggplant emoji.
He also titled all his albums like he said, like
Yeah.
"Joy unto you." It was unto the number 2 you. He was using like leet speak before we ever
Oh,
did
yeah.
it. The dude was like 30 years ahead of his time.
Oh, yeah.
And
And could play every instrument. Now, Bowie, favorite Bowie song.
Starman.
Okay.
Great. I was like, oh, that's a good one.
Starman just always makes me smile.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what's going on. If that song's playing, it just makes me smile.
It's a great song.
Mhm.
I like Fame.
Fame is a good one. Fame is so recognizable because of the drop in
Yeah.
the middle.
It's great.
Yeah, I was trying to get my sister to write a jazz cover of Fame for me to do burlesque too. I haven't come to fruition yet. Upright bass.
Yes.
Well, she plays a lot of instruments, but
Yeah.
she's an accomplished upright bass player. She has a jazz group called
Trio.
Steam and Trio out in Central Florida, and has a master's degree from NYU in performance bass.
Send me the information on the band. I would like to go check them out.
Yeah, they're great.
Will
They're
do.
great. Check out the Steven Trio.
Little Raj Podge is a budding jazz musician himself.
Oh,
What's he play?
Saxophone, alto sax, and he's not to blow smoke up my own kid's ass. If, say he's really fucking good. Really
cool.
fucking good.
Yeah.
Drums. Drums. I learned enough piano to impress people, and I can kind of plunk out by ear. So if I've had enough time, I can play. And sometimes I do in our cabaret shows, but
I play guitar poorly,
okay.
very poorly.
I don't know how far of a drive it is from where you guys are, but she does a restaurant in Winter Haven called Fire.
Winter Haven's not bad.
Every Wednesday they play there.
It's
Every
a
Wednesday,
good
nice.
time too. Plus, Fire's got really good food.
Oh, Fire has really good food.
I want to take Raj out to the Tampa Riverwalk and just go busking one day.
Yeah.
Let him play. Put the case out there. Just sit and play, bud.
This is maybe a thing to say, but it's the best thing you can do as a parent. If you have a child who is interested in anything artistic, not just to accept it, but embrace it and push them. I mean, I am a drummer because I said I want to play drums, and my mother went out. It wasn't some first act kit. My mom bought me a Pacific Pacific Workshop drum set, which is by DW Drums, and I had zillion cymbals and the works. It's what I got for my birthday. And
So you got the good shit.
Oh yeah, well, good enough that I could learn on it. And
Yeah.
I have since been. It's been more than 15 years.
Well, one of the greatest rock and roll drummers of all time, in my opinion, is Dave Grohl.
Oh well,
from
yeah.
Nirvana. Do you know the story of how he learned to play drums?
Actually,
Couldn't afford drums. His mother was supportive, but he couldn't afford a drum set, and the neighborhood kid played drum. So he pretty much set pillows out in size so they would make a similar sound, and he would play drums on hitting pillows
it's awesome.
to Beatles records, and
That's-
taught himself how to play like that until he was able to afford to get a kit.
That's a
That's so
celebrity
neat.
who
That's so
is
cool.
so good to people. He deserves every modicum of fame and fortune he's gotten.
Have you ever seen what him and the band have done to the Westboro Baptist Church?
No.
Oh God, it
It
is
was
so
brutal.
glorious. No, it's not brutal. It is so classy and tasteful. What they'll do is, because the Westboro Baptist Church likes to protest at their concerts. For anybody who doesn't know what the Westboro Baptist Church is, it's a bunch of inbred fucking neck breathing cousin humpers down from Westboro, whatever fucking pig's dick state they're from. That they're the God hates fags people. So what they'll do is they have, I think what the song is. It's like, you know, a man loving a man and a woman loving. It's like,
Right.
but they'll pretty much put costumes on, get on a flatbed truck, and drive around the venue with the whole band playing on the back of this flatbed truck, and they stop right in front of those assholes and just keep fucking playing, and you know, guys and girls coming out making out with each other in the street, and it's just so glorious, so glorious. But he is one of the most humble fucking people.
Broke his leg and all the dudes keep playing, so they had one of the stagehands held his leg in place.
The doctor who was there watching the show wasn't even working. He happened to be there, and they did a reunion on one of the talk shows where they brought this doctor on, and he got to meet Dave, and they talked about that incident.
This doctor held his leg for like 8 shows, held it in place so that he could finish. He left. They got it lined up.
It wasn't H. It was only that one show that he had to hold it for. But it was like they didn't like play out half. But fucking 8 songs is a long fucking time, and this dude had to hold it still.
Yeah, he just held it. Sat there and held Dave Grohl's leg sticking out while he was playing. Just held his leg. And when he was done, they went, okay. He went, okay, good night. And then they took him to the hospital to set his leg.
Yeah. And he fell off the fucking stage, and he's like, he's got the microphone. He's like, I think I broke my leg. Like, I think I really broke my leg.
Calm. So it was just total shock.
And he told the people, he's like, hey, I'm going to go get my leg fixed, and we'll be back. We're going to finish this show. You know, the band just fucking jammed out while they assessed him, and they realized, hey, we'll do the fucking show, and then we'll deal with casting you later. But then to not cancel tour dates, they built what they called the throne, and it was a fucking chair that he could sit in that had his leg elevated, had all these fucking lights, and
he just played guitar from his throne
and rock people's fucking faces off.
Yep.
Did you see what he did with the people at Cesena, Italy? The Rockin' 1000 thing? Have you ever heard of Rockin' 1000?
Yes.
So that started with Dave Grohl. This small village of Cesena, Italy wanted the Foo Fighters to come play. So they made that Rockin' 1000 video, or this 1,000 musicians played Learn to Fly. He saw the video. He responded in Italian, like he learned what to say in Italian. That's cool. And they went and they fucking played the show. Everything I see this guy do is the rock star that's not a rock star, or vice versa.
Right?
Exactly.
He is a rock star, but he feels that power in brilliant ways that are so
and with a sense of humor, like
so supportive to people. He's so caring and compassionate.
Old school.
Yes.
But I mean, you think about it. You were a main figure in 2 Rock and Roll Hall of Fame bands. It's crazy. And when you look at the origins of the Foo Fighters, like why they exist, talking about recording every album, piece of the album himself.
Yes.
The very first album he wrote and recorded as his grieving process.
A person that close committing suicide is a feat of its own.
Oh yeah, and you got to look at, it wasn't just a friend. It was that was also your livelihood. It was more than just a close friend. It went so much deeper.
Right. I do. Every show I do, I make a point to stop and remind everybody that their lives are worth it, that they're valid and they're loved, and that you're not alone. The internet can be a very lonely place, but I like it because it can also be a place where you can reach out and you can talk and whatnot. So I know that's how I cope with it, right? I lost a friend. That's what started it all. I lost a friend for coming up 6 years now. Yeah, coming up 6 years. I lost a friend to suicide, and I've talked about it at every show. I don't get into all the nitty gritty, but I use it as a platform. So for Dave Grohl to
But
take that
you have a
loss,
platform to use and
Well,
do good things.
once again, full circle back to why I do what I do. I think it's insanely important that when people, if you've got people's ears even for 10 minutes, I could say, hell yeah, let's drink up and have a great night. Or I can say, hell yeah, let's drink up and have a great night. And also, has anyone said I love you lately? And that's like so important because for a lot of people, the answer is no.
That's one of the things about Bob, Bob Saget.
Yes.
When he passed away, everybody said the same thing. Bob would always tell them that he loved them.
Yep.
You know, and just that the world needs more love, man.
He's not award ceremony speeches to be like, I love you too. It was crazy, but like I just think that's so important because I mean, I know we don't want to get like dive into a full political spiel, but like it's getting nuts out there for us. And for people that are not in our industry and for people that don't frequent the sort of venues we do and whatever, specifically in Florida, but also kind of all over the States, it is getting to a place now where drag is being targeted. But it's a smoke screen show. They're passing legislation against trans people. It is taking down both trans people and drag shows. It is affecting burlesque. It is affecting most nightlife entertainment, and it is destroying people's ways of life. And with this most recent sort of news rounding of unfortunate another shooting, and this time the person was trans. Now that's all they want to talk about. And I feel so in the last, honest to God, in the last 6 to 8 months, it has gone from I love what I do, we have a great burlesque show, it's wonderful, I love my drag community, we have such a fun time, to some venues I am afraid to go into. When I go into a new venue, I find security and I tell them if I ever say that someone needs to go, they need to go. You don't get to watch my show. Don't laugh when I'm laughing. You are security. You are the thing that's going to stop this club from having a problem. And it's scary and dangerous, and I think that we're all at like an 11 right now, so I have to take the opportunity to say I know it's scary right now. We keep fighting, we keep beating it. We've done it over and over and over in the queer community. We've done this. I mean
over and over and over.
Well, since you go back to like the 60s.
Fucking Da Vinci.
Well, right, exactly. I was going to say, in American history, you go back to the 60s, that's the Stonewall riots, where a black trans woman picked up a brick and threw it at the cops because the cops were trying to arrest them for being gay. And it's just been and it's weird how we've ebbed and flowed too, because we were just talking about all these amazing, like Bowie, Prince, all these guys that are known for being very cross-dressing, very androgynous, very gender fluid, very expressive of their sexuality and gender. And I feel like we've locked it all back down and it's the 50s again.
I almost think to some level it's worse than the 50s again.
I kind of think so.
Mainly because we should fucking know better at this point.
Well, that's right.
We should know better, and there's so much more technology. We're so much more connected than we ever have been.
Right.
In the 50s, it was just your community. Your community was holding that within other people in your community. But there were still pockets that were able to exist. Like you had to find your people, but once you found your people, that was basically it. You found your people.
Right.
But now we're so much more connected. We're so much more public than we ever have been.
And what's crazy is as everybody tries, oh, it's 2023 and everybody could be anything you want. Well, we're finding out that's obviously bullshit.
Wants to be a straight white cis heterosexual male who has money. That's great.
Yeah, or plain.
That's what I'm doing wrong. I don't have money. Fuck.
Yeah,
I could do that and I could be a complete dick and hate everybody.
I was gonna say you got the Lebanon thing, but you
Aloha snack bar.
Aloha.
When I bomb on stage, it usually involves a vest.
Yeah. I'm hoping the guy with buttons running like a normal one. Is that burlesque and cabaret have always been, and this is why I find that I think it's interesting, because I think when I got started with this, we didn't have this sort of like insane I mean, it's never been great to be a queer person. We've always been sort of working towards getting better, but we didn't have this sort of like stomping ground where all of our women's rights being just revoked out the nose, gay rights, marriage equality, all these things are now threatened. And I find that it's funny that cabaret and burlesque started because of women's rights. Cabaret was being done in places in Nazi occupied Germany in order to raise money to get people out. That's how Audrey Hepburn. That's one of Audrey Hepburn's earliest achievements, was she was performing as a young girl in basements in Nazi occupied Germany in order to help.
Like I told you at the last show that I was at, where you guys were there, was at the New World Brewery.
Yeah.
You know, if it comes to it, I'll fucking produce shows on the ground. I'll fucking go to jail for it. I don't give a fuck.
It's hard because, you know, the difference now is specifically when we're talking about burlesque, right? Because stripping is the oldest art form ever. Like, since the dawn of womankind, there has been stripping. It has survived eras of oppression. It has survived eras of censorship. The reason that burlesque, as we know it today, is one of like the few true American art forms is because America was the place where it was Puritan founded. So they developed all of these weird censorship laws. And the pasty and the merkin, of course, traditionally a merkin was a pubic wig that was worn by prostitutes so that they could hide the fact that they shaved to avoid crabs. But
I'm aware.
That's
I know the history of the merkin.
The decorative merkin and the pasties, especially with the tassels, were all born from censorship. They were all born from American censorship laws which
are still in place.
Because the Puritan
in 2023
society decided how much of the body a woman could show. So, but the difference now, because we've survived all of that. Burlesque has survived all of that. Striptease artists have survived all of that. They have always existed throughout all censorship, throughout prohibition, throughout everything. They've survived. The difference now is that burlesque is no longer an art form for the cis white male to enjoy. Burlesque is no longer something that is for the male gaze. It's no longer serving the patriarchy. Burlesque is a safe place for women. It's for women embracing their sexuality. It's a safe place for queer people. And that's why we're under fire now, and why we're not just flying under the radar and being excused the way that we always have.
Now what's really interesting about that is I've been to tons of burlesque shows, and there's not really burlesque shows aren't about sex.
You will see nothing more gratuitous at a burlesque show than you would on a Netflix show.
Yeah.
Period.
Actually, you probably see more on a Netflix show.
Suffering laws, which, if you don't know, blue laws were, antiquated 1910s through 1930s. Blue laws are these county by county laws that dictate, and I wish I was making this up, what part of the woman's breast you are allowed to show, how much of a woman's cheeks you're allowed to show, the butt.
God damn, it should be all of it.
Anal cleft, if you will.
The anal cleft is what they call it, and how much cleavage you're allowed to show. And they vary county by county. Some counties say that you can show from areola up and you can show cleavage. Some say that underboob is acceptable, but nothing on the top. It is a bizarre practice.
Underboob is always acceptable. I just want to state that for the record. That's true. Unless they're mine, they're just a little too hairy. Here's the way I look at it.
Everybody has nipples.
Saint Lenny Bruce did not go to jail for saying the word cocksucker.
Right.
So we can go fucking backwards. So it's my moral fucking duty to protect free speech at all fucking levels, whether I agree with it or not.
Well,
I agree with anything you guys have to say, but
people are saying it's my right to say that some obscure Nazi propaganda.
No. It's
say that,
but it's also your right to suffer the consequences of saying said things.
Right.
And there are certain things that bringing out the Nazi propaganda. That if I start goose stepping up and down the fucking street, I deserve my ass kicked at that point.
Well, I also
I'm free to
think
say
that-
it. Somebody's free to kick my ass.
Unfortunately, this country is humorously disparaging to me. How in Germany, if you emulate a Nazi, if you do the salute, there is a list of things that will land you immediate felony charges, and you will go to jail without a jury. You're in jail.
Yeah.
It's illegal. You're going to jail. Here, we still won't call Nazis a domestic terrorist organization. The South Carolina Tiki Torch Nazis, we won't say that. And we won't say that the KKK is a domestic terrorist group. But what we are saying, after however many 3,000 school shootings in like the last year alone, now we're saying that maybe we need to consider trans people a domestic terrorist group because we had
One.
Yeah.
2 in the last 5 years.
And that's the level of fucking ridiculousness that people have that today is, just
Yeah.
fucking relax, people.
Part of the US, like American culture, that I find really difficult to wrap my head around when we're talking about censorship laws and blue laws and like puritanical residual shit in the country, is that like sex and the naked body are so scandalous. When
For no reason.
literally everybody has a body. Everybody has a body.
RuPaul said,
Everybody has nipples.
yes,
Like we all have our own genitalia. Like, and everybody has sex. Like there's a other than asexuals, everybody has sex. It's a normal thing. It's a thing that's encouraged. We have to have sex to reproduce and continue the
If you're
population.
not reproducing, you can't have sex.
But we're
Tell that to the Greeks.
we're gonna censor all of that, and we can't talk about sex, which is a normal human mammalian function.
No, because it's going to
That's
offend
an
some fucking religious
instinctual
douche.
thing that exists inside of us. But we're gonna, it's cool for kids to play with toy guns, and it's fine for them to watch, cowboy movies where they're shooting up people, and it's fine to watch.
Well, that bothers me only because it wasn't cowboys and Indians; it was the federal government and Indians.
Well,
Right.
yeah,
Yes.
no, that's
Yes.
offensive for its own set
Well,
of reasons.
have
Basically,
a
the point
whole-
that I'm trying to make is that in America, violence is very open and like visible to the general public, and we don't really worry about censoring violence at all.
I mean, look at some of these fucking video games.
Which is true. And the thing is that there is this strong Republican talking point that says video games are causing violence. I think video games probably are. I mean, look,
I don't think they're causing violence. What I think they are is desensitizing and
Yes.
glorifying.
Well,
Desensitizing, glorifying.
Fascinating, much along the same lines, right? I find it fascinating that we're saying the anti-drag bill is for the protection of our children. And then we get to gun legislation and they say, how dare you question that our Second Amendment right? And everybody always forgets that the words well regulated come before the word militia, and none of that means Bubba gets to go do whatever he wants. Or, and the thing is, and let me be clear, I am not anti-gun.
Oh no,
I'm not. It
We
is
have
a
guns.
constitutional right of ours. We have guns.
We carry guns.
Especially now, because there's a lot of other people who have guns that want me dead because of my makeup. That's all it takes now. And people hate me.
Which is a whole fucking level of ridiculousness.
It's a problem for sure. I'm no different than anybody else just because I'm wearing makeup. It shouldn't mean that you want me dead, but unfortunately, it does for some folks. Call it Christian, as insanity. Call it the theocratic upbringing that is so staunch. Whatever it is, they're taught to hate this because I'm different. Point is, I don't think guns are bad. I think that we need to start regulating instead of now DeSantis has passed this constitutional carry in which you don't even have to get a permit. You can just have a concealed carry on you. Kind of concerning and the thing is that whether it's constitutional or not, we can talk about that all night long. Does it scare the queer people? Yes, sure does. I don't love that.
It should probably scare everybody.
It should scare everyone.
I agree.
Probably should scare everybody. And I've heard a lot of I've seen a lot of people on Facebook who like aren't very familiar with gun laws and aren't very familiar with like the processes that go into it talk about, oh, now Florida's passing an open carry.
I keep hearing that too.
Oh, that's
actually an open carry would be much safer than what Florida
So-
is passing.
Yes,
No.
cops will be able to see right on you. Here's where the
Well-
queer fear comes in, is that now that I don't even have to have a permit, I get pulled over driving home looking like this, and they say, license and registration. And I reach for my glove box. Now we're concerned.
well, never, ever, ever keep your gun in the same place you keep your registration. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
stuff in the glove box, but still.
Right, but
Well,
also,
what this
where
opened
did
up,
you learn that? Where did you learn that?
what, that not to keep my gun with my papers?
Yes.
Common sense. I don't know if anybody
It
actually
wasn't a
told me that.
concealed carry class, because that's where most people learn that.
No, I've known that since before I've had a CCW.
Do you think that just in your daily interactions, do you feel like the average American has common sense?
St. George Carlin once said, think of how stupid the average person is.
Right,
Now realize that half the population is stupider than that.
Right.
right. I think that we should have better regulations. And the thing is that I had to take a driving course to get my driver's license, and I have to renew that driver's license.
But then the argument is there's no, you have no right to drive in the Constitution.
You're right. It is a privilege.
I'm mandated to hold auto insurance, and I'm now mandated to carry health insurance, which my employer is not mandated to grant me,
Right,
but I can just carry a gun if I want to.
right.
Well, to
Right.
be honest with you, execution's cheaper than treatment.
Dead people don't get surveys, as we say in the healthcare industry.
Right.
That's
Well,
true.
the thing
True.
gun laws were being moved in a world where there wasn't, on average, 1.4 school shootings a day. I'd be fine with gun laws moving around. I wouldn't care. I honestly would not have any interest. I would also say that I think that the idea of a constitutional carry, fine. That's fine. We could all just. I think it should be an open carry. Every cop I've ever spoken to, including family members, including people that I know, they want to know that you've got something on you. It's way less tense. If the law was you could legally carry here, they're not worried about it. There's what I got.
There's pros and cons to both.
Well,
In an actual situation, you don't want you don't want to be open carrying, because letting the bad guy see that you have one,
You're the first
you're
target.
you're the first target.
Well, sure.
Which is
I
why,
mean,
there's
I can't target all nine of us. So back to the good guy, bad guy.
true.
I think all of this could be being discussed if the epidemic wasn't children being murdered.
True.
And I am offended as a what I consider myself to be is, I mean, I really am a cross-dressing. That's who I am. I do think that what I do on stage is a form of drag. What I'm offended at is that my governor cares way more about my fake eyelashes, which mine are real and he can kiss my ass.
It's a fact.
But I think that he's more concerned about what shade of lipstick I'm wearing than how many Floridian students have died in their elementary schools this year. Or he's going after Disney and putting in how many resources because they said, no, fuck off. We don't back your don't say gay bill. The truth is that I had gay teachers as early as 3rd grade, and I was told that's my husband. And it made sense to me. My mom has a husband too. Okay. They're trying at this point to bury the fact that queer personages exist at all. And the answer is, we're here. We've been here for if you look at
Actually, we're here, we're queer, and we will not disappear.
Exactly.
Right? Straight guy knows that. You know that.
Recorded history. Anything. Ancient Egypt, Greece, Rome, yesterday. Gays, trans, we've all been here. Queer folks, ace folks, there are recordings of us. We're not making up new things. It's just how people are. I also get offended, honestly, and I will get off my soapbox with this last statement.
We got to wrap up anyhow, but
I get offended as a person who was raised Christian and taught that if you believe in the Christian God, he makes no mistakes and he's omnipotent. So to say that a trans person is lying, you're either saying that God made a mistake or you're saying that he's not omnipotent.
Oh, don't you dare confuse them.
Well, I know. And then they
Yeah,
have short circuit.
yeah, exactly. It's true.
Soapbox.
All right. Good to have you back there.
Great. Tell us that you care about us, because we're like really scared. Also, like, you know,
And like
Also
show the
vote.
fuck up.
vote,
Show the
vote,
fuck
Gretchen,
up.
vote.
Vote.
Come to your voting polls and vote.
Listen.
Pay
Listen
attention.
to what your allies are telling you.
Don't be a cunt.
Yes, when there is a problem that doesn't particularly pertain to you, if it seems like it's just not like a nice thing to do, vote against it.
Yeah. And don't be a cunt.
Don't be.
That's like,
Don't be a cunt.
see, we need to go back to like my thing is, the only thing I judge people on two criteria.
Yes, I'm waiting. I love this one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Whether or not they're a cunt.
Yep.
And what they drive. Well, which is what do you think I was going to say? No, that's not. I told you my view on shopping carts. Oh, I'm being a good boy about it. He judges based on whether or not people return their carts to the corral. All right, fuck you, skinny boy. You're pretty bold at assuming that fucking thing can hold my weight. I mean, yeah. I step on the back, it just does wheelie. I mean, it's weird. Here's the thing: like normally at Publix, I'll bring my cart back. At Walmart, I used to not bring my cart back because fuck Walmart. And there's also someone who earns a living by going and collecting the carts. So if you bring them back all the time, then that's one less job.
That's one more thing they're trying to automate for the next 5 years, I'm sure.
But Gretchen convinced me to not be a dick when I go to Walmart and bring my cart back to the, everybody's got to be a cunt sometimes. That's my cunt. But now I stopped doing it. Actually, the way I stopped and made sure my cart always goes back at Walmart is I just fucking stopped going to Walmart.
Well, there you go. It's a creative solution.
Thank you.
With
Modern problems create.
complicated problem solving around here.
All right. So on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. I think we're slightly over time. Lilabelle, Alistair, you guys are beautiful. Thank you so much for coming in. I
Thank you
love
for
talking to you
having
guys.
us.
2 hours just gone.
Oh, it was fun.
Thank you guys for coming in. Gretchen, thank you so much. You gotta talk more. Yes.
Mr. Graves on Facebook. AISTIR. The American English, right? Find me on Facebook.
Because he's classy.
Right. It's Lilabelle Quaintrell. You can find her on social media too. And if you're in the area, travel everywhere. Come see
Go
us.
all over the
Follow
state.
them though. Follow them.
Yeah.
By the way, one last thing I wanted to say when we're talking about Foo Fighters.
Yeah.
You do know they put out an album of disco songs.
I do know that.
She's a huge
And
disco.
I do love disco.
Pale Satin. Greatest album name. Gretchen. You got any final words you want to say to the people? Tell them to go fuck themselves. Don't be a cunt. What do you got?
Great week.
Yes. Have a great week. She's so nice. Okay. Have a great week. We do this every Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time here in the United States. Don't forget to spay or neuter your children. That's fucked up. Been saying that for years. You gonna say it? No, you have to say it.
Roger that.
Roger that. Over and out. All right. Wait, I did. Okay. Roger that.
Over and out.
There we go. All right. Now we're done. Toodaloo.